If you're buying a house in Philly or the suburbs, there is one thing that scares buyers the most, and that is inspections. And honestly, inspections aren't what kill deals, it's the surprises. Today, I'm going to walk you through what actually causes buyers to walk away, what causes sellers to lose money, and what actually makes the deal completely fall apart. Because after helping sellers and buyers all over Philly, Delco, the main line, it's the same issues that repeatedly show up. If you've never bought a house before, you probably think a bad inspection means that you shouldn't buy the house. And that's not true. Almost every single resale home has items that need attention on the inspection report. It's very common, especially in our area of Philly in the suburbs where homes are 50, 75, even 100 years old. The question isn't, does the house have issues? The question is really, what are the issues? Are they expected, fixable, or reasonable? Let's talk about the ones that cause real problems. The first major deal killer is foundation issues. Now, let's be clear. Tiny hairline cracks are very normal from settlement. But when inspectors start documenting things like significant bowing walls, horizontal cracking, or major movement, water intrusion tied to structural concerns, this is when buyers get a little nervous very fast. And honestly, it's understandable because the reason why structural and foundation issues can kill deals is because no one truly understands the full cost of the issue until we get a structural engineer in and giving everybody a quote. Sometimes it can be a $2,000 repair, and other times it can be a $40,000 repair. So this is why buyers usually hit the brakes. The second deal killer, water issues. This is huge in Philly and the suburbs. I would say water is probably the issue that scares buyers the most, at least the ones that I work with. I'm talking about wet basements, mold concerns, active leaks, and water penetration, leading to foundation that has moisture issues. Especially in older homes, if you're seeing water in the basement, especially during an inspection, if you go to an inspection on a rainy day and you see water in the basement, and buyers are immediately thinking, what else don't I know about this house? Water problems tend to create trust issues, and trust is everything in a real estate transaction. A seller may say, it's always been like that. But a buyer's thinking, well, why isn't it fixed? And what are the other problems that you haven't fixed? This is where a deal can start to fall apart. Deal killer number 3, roof issues. A roof near its end of its life doesn't necessarily kill a deal, but you do have to put yourself in the buyer's shoes. They're already spending money on their down payment, closing costs, moving expenses. So when they hear that you may need a new roof soon, it's scary. Roofs are expensive. Buyers start thinking, how much? $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. When buyers start to get financially stretched and stressed, that's when they start to think about walking away. Deal killer number 4, electrical issues. This is one of the biggest surprises I see, especially in older homes. You're going to see knob and tube wiring, double tap breakers, unsafe electrical panels, and improper wiring. These issues create 2 concerns. Number 1, safety. Number 2, insurance. If your homeowner's insurance finds out that you have knob and tube wiring, they may or may not give you a policy. And if they do, there's going to be a premium to that. Most of the time, they'll give you a certain amount of days to get that switched and take out the knob and tube wiring and update your electrical. So if buyers think that they're going to have trouble getting insurance coverage, issues may come up quickly. Deal killer number 5, sewer line problems. In Philly, I always recommend my buyers to get a sewer scope. It's an addition to your typical home inspection, so it is an extra cost, but it does fall under the umbrella of your general home inspection in the agreement of sale contract. So it's not something that you need to make as an extra contingency, but it is something that you want to do as an extra add-on to your home inspection. You'll have a plumber come in, send a camera down through the pipes, and just make sure that everything is looking okay. There's no like branches or things clogging up your pipes, or no cracks in an old cast iron pipe, which is why a lot of people are moving to PVC pipes. Without doing that, suddenly there's a 5-figure repair that is happening underground that nobody knows about. And I think because buyers can't physically see the sewer line, issues with the sewer can feel particularly scary. Deal killer number 6, HVACs on their last leg. Buyers can deal with an older HVAC system. I think what they struggle with most is when there are major systems failing at the same time, like a roof issue and HVAC, as well as plumbing or electrical. Individually, it can be manageable, but when they are grouped together and it's one after the other, that's when a buyer starts to feel that financial pressure again and thinks, is this house right for me? It's when affordability becomes an issue and not necessarily is the house the issue. Now I went through all of those deal killers, and you may be so scared right now, but let me tell you, those aren't the things that kill the deal. No, it's the negotiation that does. All of those things that I just said, they are manageable, they are fixable. Yes, they come with a price, but it doesn't have to just be on one person. This is a negotiation. You have your inspection contingency. Your offer is contingent on an inspection. And here's what happens. All these issues come up. Now the seller knows of these material defects. So they can either A, negotiate with you as the buyer and keep this sale going forward, or they can B, let the deal fall through, and now they have to disclose every single issue that just came up on an inspection and go back on the market. It really comes down to how both sides handle it. And everyone has to be reasonable in the negotiation process. If a seller starts to become unreasonable and isn't willing to fix or credit legitimate concerns, then that's when a buyer may start to actually get concerned themselves. On the other hand, if a buyer asks for every single tiny item on a 70-page report, that's when a seller gets frustrated. The deals that survive are the ones that have reasonable people on both sides. I've personally never had a deal die during the inspection period, and that's because we come in smart, we come in prepared. We look at the items in an inspection report that are safety concerns, that are going to have an impact on your everyday life. And we leave out the ones like caulking that is a light job that can be done on your own after closing, and we'd rather focus on getting the HVAC repaired or the roof repaired. We have to realize like what's important and what's not going to be a huge issue if you just moved in and fixed it on your own time afterwards. So again, what I tell my buyers all the time is don't focus on the cosmetic issues. Focus on the health, safety, the structural, and the major systems of the house. I don't care if a door sticks. I care if water is entering the basement. I don't care if there's chipped paint. I care if there's a sewer line that's cracking. The goal of the inspection isn't to find a perfect house. It's to understand what you're buying. It's to become a more informed homeowner. There is no perfect house. The question is whether the list from the inspection is manageable. If you're buying a house in Philly, Delco, the Main Line, Montco, Chesco, Bucks County, and you're wondering about any issues or questions that you have that may pop up during inspections, reach out to me. You can always DM me, email me, call me anytime. I help buyers review inspection reports almost every week. And knowing what's a real problem and what's not will save you so much stress and money. If you're moving to the area or you live in the area, make sure you subscribe because I post videos like this every week about Philly, real estate, and just living in the area. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.